Samito. I'm 99% sure that if you're watching this video, you know who Samito is. He was one of the prominent faces in the Overwatch community, frequently coming onto the biggest Overwatch podcast, SVB's Group Up podcast, to discuss the state of the game and the news surrounding it. But now his Twitter and his Instagram have gone kaput, and he's taken what's seemingly an indefinite break from Overwatch to solely focus on reviving the Mineplex project, one of the biggest Minecraft servers back in the day. But in this video, I'll focus on Samito's personal story as a content creator, some of the hiccups he's experienced along the way, and what a future in Mineplex might look like. Being born and raised in Lexington, Kentucky, Samito began his YouTube channel on July 10th, 2016, roughly a month after Overwatch's initial release. But his oldest video seems to be from July 2017, where he was doing a Bronze to GM challenge. Now those challenges are plastered all across YouTube, so it's interesting to see this early archive of one. Since this is also his third episode, I assume Samito's privated or deleted some of his earlier content. Judging by how large his Twitch was, I also assume he was a regular streamer on Twitch at one point, though his oldest VOD is from July 2018. Anyways, despite the decent success Samito was having in 2017, pulling in respectable views, especially for the time, he took a turn into making Call of Duty content a month after posting on YouTube, and as you can see, the views took a nosedive. Despite the thumbnails actually being thumbnails and not still frames from the video, Samito barely breached 4 digits when trying to make COD content, though he did have one video that popped off. Just before I continue, I'd like to mention that I'm now officially a coach on Uscrim. If you want to get the best valued coaching out there with the most amount of options, I highly recommend you check the top link in the description. On with the video. Samito soon made a video explaining why, even as a definite top 500 player, he quit Overwatch for a decent period of time. And not gonna lie, it is weird to see how young Samito looks.
The reason why I quit the game was because of the one-tricks, okay? The one-tricks, the competitive experience wasn't that great, the meta was kind of annoying, and I honestly didn't think that Blizzard was really doing anything to try and improve their game.
This wouldn't be Samito's first hiatus from the game, but he eventually started integrating more Overwatch into his content. And at the time, since Fortnite was also at its peak, he made a few videos on Fortnite too. I think it'd be fairly accurate to describe Samito as a variety channel at this point. However, it wouldn't take long for Samito to pop off with Overwatch. Samito was so good at the game and was such a marketable streamer that his videos collabing with other streamers like Gale Adelaide or Raxu easily pulled in 5 digits, and sometimes just his raw skill dragged in the views with a 4900 SR game or getting banned by Blizzards. It's actually kinda crazy seeing how little it took to pop off back in the early days. If you were literally just good enough at the game, your thumbnail could be scuffed as hell and the video would still pop off. Comparing that to the oversaturated, high contrast, 3D model Overwatch thumbnails, and it certainly harks back to a more innocent time. Anyways, this streak for Samito posting his best moments in high lobbies worked wonders, and he kept repeating the formula throughout 2018. Throughout 2018 is also when Samito got his first taste of Pro League, participating in a B-tier Fusion Showcase tournament and coming first place on a team called Screenwave Media. This team also featured prominent Overwatch streamers like Kefri and also KarQ. Who would have thunk it? There's not too much footage of this, but there is a YouTube video with 69 views showing clips of the tournament and interviewing Kefri and KarQ. 5 months later, Samito also participated in the second Fusion Showcase on a team called Owl Rejects, coming in second place with a similar roster too, this time having Gale Adelaide instead of KarQ. And fun fact, the team that Samito lost to, Path to Poverty, has Overwatch League player Dove, who currently plays for the Vegas Eternal. And then beautifully, Samito got his revenge against the Vegas Eternal by beating them in the World Cup trials. What a small world we live in. Additionally, Samito had a bit of drama with top 500 top one trick, Fury 500s, where Fury made a twit longer, arguing that one-tricking isn't griefing, but Samito responded with his own video, arguing otherwise, harking back to that video in 2018 on why he initially left Overwatch. The last thing to know is that during the period of 2018 to early 2019, Samito had actually done 3 short interviews with his local news outlet, Midday Kentucky. There was actually a clip of him talking about Mineplex, which we now know more of his involvement in, but I'll save that for later. For reasons of nostalgia, if you want to see the clips themselves, they'll be linked down below, if I remember hopefully. Now, not too much happened in 2019. He played in NA Contenders for a bit and saw some decent results, but he was also focused on the content grind, which becomes more apparent as we enter 2020. the year of COVID, and on April the 30th, 2020, Samito joined the Florida Mayhem as a content creator. As a result, Samito did his job and made content for the Mayhem, commonly being put in thumbnails alongside J3, who was also a content creator for the Mayhem too. However, only a year and a month after Samito signed onto the Mayhem was he released from the team, and this was because of a story I'm sure you've heard of, where Samito told a player in one of his ranked games to, well, game end himself, so to say. As a result, the Florida Mayhem booted out Samito from the content creator team, and Samito made an apology. However, one slight quirk to the apology video was that Samito threatened to sue the person who uploaded the clip, because according to Sam, he hadn't included the full context.
Reddit and trolls in my community, the person who uploaded this clip is a known troll in my community that I will be seeing in court. I'm going to sue him because it's not fair to me, to be honest with you. Likes to crop things out of context to better fit their narrative. But if you're going to judge me, I want the whole story to be there. So when you crop a clip and don't include the part where half a second later, I immediately say, oh my God, like I am totally wrong, which I was and still am. In fact, the plan was for me to get fined and put that money towards the suicide prevention hotline, which I totally would have done. My contract was terminated because of him. That is, I have every grounds to sue.
Of course, Reddit had a field day with this, with one user saying, what is he gonna sue them for? Posting a clip of a stream he streamed publicly, showing something he said in the stream. And then another user pointed out that the selective clipping isn't defamation, since it's not taken out of context to sound like Samito said something different, nor was it provably for the intent of harming his reputation. In all actuality, Samito probably didn't pursue legal action. Still, threatening litigation to silence people, as someone who's been a victim of that myself, isn't fun. A month later, Samito caught more flack from Reddit and Twitter, as it was shown that he was streaming with Shiro. You can learn more about her in my Overwatch Degenerates video, linked in the top right, but in short, she wasn't a very liked member of the community, to put it lightly. Aside from that bump in 2021 though, Sam's mostly managed to stay out of controversy. Of course, there's the occasional tweet or Reddit post that critiques Samito's behaviour in-game, or it critiques an opinion he has, but for the most part, he's mainly viewed as one of the most entertaining voices out there in the Overwatch space. Even recently, half a year ago, he and his team beat the old Vegas Eternal in the Overwatch World Cup trials, who in my opinion were the worst tier 1 team to grace the scene. However, Samito's involvement in the Overwatch community all changed 3 months ago, when he announced that he's going to be quitting Overwatch after having acquired Mineplex. Now, I've never been a Minecraft player or a YouTuber, nor will I ever be a Minecraft player or a YouTuber, so I recommend watching some videos on Mineplex, but this is pretty big news for the Minecraft community. Mineplex was one of the biggest servers out there, played by tens of thousands of people, and promoted by big YouTubers like DanTDM and Captain Sparkles. So, Samito tweeting out that he's taking the helm of the server and looking to get it back to its glory days is promising for the Minecraft community, but only time will tell. As for his Overwatch career, well, that's being put on the back burner. He explained that, especially with the news that the initial scope of PvE was being cancelled, he couldn't fulfill his creative potential inside of Overwatch, and that Mineplex was the way to go.
The state of Overwatch, it's just not that game. It's just not that game. It's not what it once was. I don't think, I personally, if I had to pick, if I was a betting man and I had to bet, I would say it probably won't ever be. Which is fine. It still can be sustainable, it can still do well, but you know, it's really hard to hit the bar as to what this game was on release, because there was nothing like it, and there never will be. That's how special it was, right? That's not me saying that you can't be successful in the Overwatch scene, because like the first launch was just one of the most incredible things in the history of gaming, and it definitely got all the credit that it deserved, and I do hope it can get back there. But right now, we got to focus on us, man. We got to keep things moving. We got to be the best we can be every single day. And I know that I can't be the best man I can be while focusing primarily on Overwatch.
It's actually really interesting seeing Samito say this, because 5 years ago, in one of the old interviews with Midday Kentucky, Sam said himself that he was into Mineplex.
I worked for one of the largest servers in the world for 1.5 years as an administrator, and it's a server called Mineplex, good friends of mine.
Okay.
They made mini games like, they make dodgeball and paintball within Minecraft.
All right.
With the Minecraft engine as its foundation.
If only we knew. As for now, Samito has deactivated his Twitter and his Instagram, but he still occasionally streams on YouTube and still uploads the odd Overwatch video when he has free time. The only recent piece of drama that surrounded Samito was this video defending a Nick Merckx tweet, which some, including myself, interpreted to be anti-LGBT. You yourself can make that judgment on Nick Merckx and on Samito. But that's it for the story of Samito, a man who's been through corny ass, low quality interviews to becoming one of the biggest Overwatch content creators and probably transferring that skill set over to Minecraft once we see what Mineplex looks like. I only wish the best for Sam's endeavours, and hopefully Mineplex turns out to be a good success. Shout out to my channel members, Sloth Dust, Eggs Benny, Ushiup, Wix, Broken by 50%, Sosfring, Chris Jones, and Craig, and let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time.